Okay, folks, St. Abe report. As I sit here and make my applesauce and chicken, as my certifiedness as a YouTube junkie, I'm trolling around and see the 9/11 stuff. In the comment section here, you have one person who sends us to Screw Loose Change to debunk the 9/11 conspiracy theories. The idea of government conspiracy is not that far fetched, especially when we have the elite of the corporate world running policy. I do, however, feel the notion, how I saw it in the Screw Loose or the Loose Change video movie, that their passengers are living somewhere like in the witness protection program and that they use radio controlled airplanes, is a bit of a stretch. If for no other reason, lots of other people, died inside of those towers. But if you do not think that corporations, governments are capable of killing off hundreds of consumers, citizens for bigger profits and global expansion, you're not really paying attention. Screw Loose Change also talked about our domestic policy in first response was a bit lacking. I believe we are underprotected at home. Also, more reason to bring the troops home. If we would have had a few carrier groups, I really believe if we had a few carrier groups sitting off the East Coast, none of this would have happened. We could have the Lincoln sitting out there, and I'm sure no one would have bitched if we would have shot down the planes to prevent a larger loss of life. My other thoughts on our military, they only would have not scrambled jets if they were ordered not to. If nothing else, after the third jet was headed towards Washington, D.C., I can't see any squadron commanding officer who would not have sent up jets, just a standard procedure. And I say that from knowledge of how good our troops are. Moving on. You can see how the buildings fell, that they really look like a controlled fall, not a free fall as if it was just from the struts giving way. You don't have to be an engineer to make that theory plausible. I also don't really understand the connection between Loose Change and 9/11 conspiracy. Loose Change is really putting out that there's radio-controlled airplanes and, it's some sort of conspiracy, whereas most 9/11 families that talk about conspiracies too is more that just how I see it in my own Coke bottle view is that they knew, allowed, and then planned for the aftermath to make a bunch of cash and global expansion. So anyway, I'll end with this thought of how preventable this was. I don't really care what PR gig, you're doing. As the country's elected leader and the so-called decider, you politely excuse yourself from the kids, go out, get the facts, find out what's happening, make some tough choices, and do your job. We have the most powerful killing machine on Earth. The idea that he could not, that he could not have gotten the facts as it was happening, make some tough choices, and had our troops really protect us is just inconceivable. All right, this is St. Abe. Thanks for watching. Remember, even when we disagree, I feel every voice has to be heard. Free speech, one love, one cause. Peace.